Hello students, this is chapter number 5, fertilizers and manures, and this is our lecture 5th from chapter 5. So our today's topic is manures or organic manure. So what is definition of manures? Manure is any substance produced by animal or plant that is used for fertilizers. It is just like the organic matter consisting of heterogeneous mass of organic compounds decompose quickly while other decomposes slowly and finally change to humus. So the application of manure supplies essential ions to the soil. So now we will discuss what is classification of manures or organic manures. Classification of manures. Manures are classified into two major groups. First one is organic manure and second one is inorganic manure. So in this chart we will see what is organic manure or the classification or different classes of organic manure. So this organic manure is further classified into bulky organic manures, and next one is concentrated organic manure. So bulky organic manures having again have two different classes, that is farmyard manures, that is FIM, and green manures. And concentrated organic manures contains oil cakes, blood meals, meat meals and other etc. And which is further divided into two groups. That oil cakes further divided into two groups, that is non-edible to cattle and another one is edible to cattle. So this is the classification of organic manures. So what is organic manures or first type of organic manure, that is bulky organic manure, we will discuss in short. So these are the material of plants and animal origin, it is or animal or plant origin material. In this group there are several types of manures. There are several types of organic manures or bulky organic manures. So types are as follows. You can see all the types. First one is farmyard manure, that is FYM, which is prepared from cow dung, urine and sweeping of farm. Second one is farm compost. That farm compost or compost is prepared from farm refuses, leaves, trash, sugarcane, etc. Then third one is town compost. The town compost is prepared from town refuse. Then next is vermicompost. It is excreta or waste material of earthworm. Then sheep and goat droppings. Then poultry manures. What is poultry manures? Poultry manures are dropping of poultry birds. Then next one is night soil. That night soil is decomposed human excreta. Then green manure. Green manure contains green crops and plowing decomposes. Then next one is concentrated organic manures, oil cakes and other concentrated organic manures, sewage and sludges, etc. So these are types of bulky organic manures. Then we will discuss what is concentrated organic manures. So concentrated organic manures, a small quantity of manures contains comparatively more nutrients, means it is concentrated or in concentrated forms. So these manures are prepared from waste materials of animals and plants or animal plant origin. Example, blood meal, bone meal, fish meal, meat meal and wool waste. These are called oil cakes. So this is concentrated organic manure. So our next part or next topic is inorganic or inorganic manures. That manures are classified into two parts. First one is organic and second one is inorganic. So what is inorganic manures? So inorganic manures are, these are the commercial chemical compounds also called chemical fertilizers. They contain nutrient element in large quantities and therefore required in very small amount for different types of crops and plants. So there are some groups of inorganic manures, and these are, first one is nitrogenous, then phosphatic, then potassic, then complex fertilizers or mixed fertilizers or nutrients. So all these inorganic manures we already have discussed in our previous chapters, like nitrogenous, phosphatic, potassic, complex fertilizers and mixed fertilizers. So our next point is effects of bulky organic manures on soil. Okay. So what are effects of bulky organic manures on soil? These bulky organic manures supply plant nutrients in small quantities and organic matter in large quantities. Second one, these elements or bulky organic manures improve physical and biological condition of soil. They also add micronutrients along with NPK, which are essential for plant growth. They activate microorganisms by supplying energy. They improve buffering and exchange capability of soil. They influence the solubility of soil minerals as well as mineral nutrients present in the soil. They also forms chelates which help in plant nutrients. The next one is farmyard manure. Our next point is farmyard manures or FYM. So farmyard manure is a mixture of cattle dung, litter or bedding material or portion of fodder which is not consumed by cattle and other domestic waste like ashes collected and dumped into pit or heap in the corner of the backyard, and it is allowed to rot and then applied to the field. So that type of material is farmyard manure. Because of the variety nature of this material, its composition varies widely. Its average composition is 5% nitrogen, 2% phosphorus pentoxide and 5% potassium oxide. So there is factors affecting on farmyard manure. So here we can see in this chart what is farmyard manures, then factors affecting that farmyard manures. So what are that factors? First one is the source of manure, second is food of the animal, third is age and condition of the animal, fourth is function of animal, then nature and proportion of litter, then species of animal and handling and storage of manure. So dung, what is source of manure? That is dung, urine by different animals varies in quality and quantity. Urine of cattle and horses are approximately 2.5 times richer in nitrogen content than their dungs. So sheep and goats sheep and goat dungs is richer in phosphorus pentoxide and pig's dung is richer in potassium oxide. So there are different sources of manures. Then second point is food of the animal or the food of the animal consumed. Richer the food in protein, richer is the manure in nitrogen. Then third point is age and condition of the animal. Okay. So in this case, manure obtained from the excreta of young animal is poor in nitrogen than old animal. So the dung of sick animal is richer than healthy animal. The dung of sick animal is richer than healthy animal. Then next is function of animals. The dung of animal is poor in NPK. The dung of milch animal is poor in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium ratio than the dung of the labour animal like bullock and horses, etc. Next point is nature and proportion of litter. So nature and proportion of litter is most common litters are wheat, paddy straws, jawar, bajra and maize stalks. So that is different nature or various plants are used. Then species of animals, the composition of nutrient varies with ruminants and non-ruminants animals. So these species also affect the nature of farmyard manures. Then handling and storage of that manure. If drainage escape from manure heap and potash is lost, then improper handling and storage leads to losses of plant nutrients. That's why the handling and storage of manure is also very important factor to maintain its nutritional value. The next one is losses during handling. The major constituent of FYM are solid dung and liquid urine, which contains nitrogen, phosphorus in the form of phosphorus pentoxide and potassium in the form of potassium oxide. So generally the floor of cattle shed in India is uncemented, due to which the urine passes by animal is absorbed by the floor. So except in the summer season, when the cattle are left in field, for the remaining 8 to 9 months, the urine is soaked by the floor of the shed, thus losing a large quantity of nitrogen through the formation of ammonia. That's why it losses during handling. So that handling process is very important to maintain its nutritional value. So our next point is losses during storage. Dung and farm waste, that is farmyard manure, is generally collected in an open outside village. It is exposed to direct sunlight and rains, and as a result the nutrients are lost by leaching and volatilization. That is why the process of storage of manures is also important to maintain its nutritional values. So our next point is biogas or biogas plant. So what is biogas or biogas plant? So biogas plant really on anaerobic digestion. It is anaerobic digestion, a fermentation process in which waste is digested by microbes to produce methane gas, or that is biogas. The waste can be converted into biofertilizers and spread directly onto fields. On the biogas itself can be used interchangeably by the natural gas as a fuel. A biogas plant is where biogas is produced by fermenting biomass. The substances used for the production of this methane containing gas usually consist of energy crops such as corn crops, or waste material such as manures or food material or food waste. So in India, about 30% of the energy consumed by public in biological in nature. So gobar gas plant is based on an anaerobic fermentation of organic material in absence of air. That's why it is anaerobic digestion or fermentation. So cow dung, when subjected to the action of various kinds of microorganisms in a closed tank in biogas plant under anaerobic conditions, undergoes a type of fermentation. As a result, dung is converted into gobar gas, which is a mixture. What is gobar gas? It is a mixture of CH4 and CO2 and mixture quantities of all other gases. In addition, a slurry is produced, which is rich in combination of nitrogen, and it is also obtained, which is used as a manure for the fertility of agricultural land. This gas is highly flammable and very useful as a fuel, and it is used under the name of biogas, or in villages it is also known as gobar gas. So now in this another picture we will see the gobar gas generator plant. Here it is a plant, that is a biogas chamber. There are two outlets. First in right hand side there is a overflow tank, and at the left hand side it is mixing tank. The biogas generator consists of a steel digester. Here it is steel digester, and we can see in this figure there is a outflow of biogas, then gas valve and converter or dung water mixture tank, that is biogas tank. So the biogas generator consists of a steel digester that is used for dung and water and set underground by a cement concrete work. The tank is closed and receive the charges of bacteria and the cow dung. The generator is connected to a pipeline, which is with the gas holder, which is made up of mild steel, and the charge consists of cow dung and water in the form of slurry. The fermentation is carried out between 33 to 50 degrees centigrade, that is above 160 liter of gobar gas is produced per kilogram of cow dung, and the heating wall of the gas is 490 kilocalories on 160 liters basis. The generated gas is collected in a steel gas holder placed on the top of digestion tank. The plant can digest not only the cattle dung but also cattle urine. So humus refuses, poultry sweeps, etc. This average composition of biogas or gobar gas is methane, that is 55%, H2 which is 7.4% approximately, and carbon dioxide, that is 35%. Nitrogen is also there, which is 2.6%, and water is in traces amount or in trace amount. The average gross calorific value is about 5300 kilocalorie per meter cube. This gas can be carried to distinct places through pipelines, and this gas can be used for heating purpose or for household cooking purpose. So lighting, and in for lighting purpose also, and in heating purpose or in household use, and which is used in used for cooking. The burners and lamps required by it are of different types. It can also be used for running engines and generators by attacking species attachments to the plant. The manure which is obtained from the plant after decomposition is the best and cheap source of replacement of chemical fertilizers. So in this case, the manure which is produced as a side product, we can use that manures as a cheap or best chemical fertilizers. So here it is another tank of biogas, or it is digester tank, then gobar dung water inlet, then gas tank. Here it is production of CH4, that is methane gas plus carbon dioxide takes place. There is a gas outlet, an outlet which is used for sludge, and it is embedded in the soil. So here it is, we can see the total diagram of biogas plant, and now the limitations of that biogas plant. Here are some limitations of that biogas plants, that it contains impurities after refinement and compression. So biogas still contains impurities, because after refining there is also impurities, and that impurities are still there. So this is first one limitation of biogas. Then another one is effect of temperature on biogas production. Then third one is less suitable for dense metropolitan areas. So this is less suitable for metropolitan areas. Its production depends on availability of cattle dung. Then last limitation is gas lamps or burners to be used should be within 10 meter of the plant. That should be within 10 meter distance of the plants. So these are some limitations of biogas plants. Now, use of chemical preservatives. There may be loss of nitrogen from farmyard manure, which is reduced by addition of preservatives. So these preservatives are directly added to spread of cattle shit in order to have direct contact with liquid excreta of animal. The general preservative used for this purpose are gypsum and superphosphate. So here it is last point, that is use of chemical preservative. Now in this chapter we discussed about what is manures. There are different types of manures like inorganic manures and organic manures, and the classification of organic manures. Then farmyard manures, that is FYM, the factors which is affecting the quality of farmyard manures, and then its losses during storage and handling. Then biogas plant, then mechanism of biogas generator or gobar gas plant, and then its limitation. That last point was its limitation. So in our next chapter we will discuss our next point, that is sewage and sludge. Okay, thank you.